Welcome to Direct U.S. Immigration's channel, where you get direct access to our most up-to-date immigration and global mobility space. My name is Maitreya Brown, and I'm going to talk about the different ways to become a U.S. citizen. You're not going to want to miss out on this one. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Maitreya Brown, and I'm a U.S. immigration attorney based in Washington, D.C. I'm also the principal attorney at Direct U.S. Immigration, where we work with clients in all 50 states and around the world. Before we start, click on the like and subscribe button to follow our Immigration Hub to get the latest immigration information that could be vital to your case. And also, be sure to stick around until the end to learn additional benefits of holding U.S. citizenship. Individuals worldwide have visions of the American dream. Arriving to the land of opportunity is the first step in a long journey to citizenship. Most immigrants stay in the United States legally by getting a green card or becoming a lawful permanent resident. So in this video, we will talk about how to become a U.S. citizen. U.S. citizenship carries tremendous privileges, rights, and benefits. People will sacrifice so much to immigrate to America and seek citizenship. In all, there are several fundamental ways to become a U.S. citizen, and that includes citizenship by birth in the U.S., citizenship through derivation, citizenship through acquisition, through naturalization, through the diversity lottery visa, through employment, through investment or entrepreneurship. Most immigrants in the U.S. become citizens through the naturalization process, and in fact, an average of almost 1 million permanent residents apply for naturalization each year. Now first, let's talk about citizenship through birth. Under U.S. law, any person born within the United States, which includes the territories of Puerto Rico, Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands, are automatically granted U.S. citizenship. Now, there is an exemption for children of parents who are foreign diplomats. As most Americans are born on U.S. soil, this is the most common way to become a U.S. citizen. The next three paths are ways for foreign nationals to obtain citizenship. Another way is citizenship through acquisition. In some circumstances, a child automatically acquires citizenship even though that child was born outside of the United States. At least one parent needs to be a U.S. citizen at the time of the child's birth, and several other conditions must be met. If and when the child grows up and marries and has children, those children also acquire U.S. citizenship at birth. The ways a child can become a U.S. citizen through acquisition generally include, for example, both parents being U.S. citizens. This requires that both parents were U.S. citizens at the time of the child's birth, and the parents were married at the time of the birth, and at least one parent lived in the U.S. or its territories, or both, prior to the child's birth. Now, if only one parent was a U.S. citizen, there are 4 different subcategories that you should take heed to. The first is if the child was born in wedlock to one U.S. citizen parent and one non-U.S. citizen parent, where that birth occurred on or after November 14th, 1986. If the child falls under this subcategory, then the child is entitled to citizenship, providing that the U.S. citizen parent had been physically present in the U.S. for 5 years, where at least 2 of those years were after the child reached the age of 14. The second subcategory is if the child was born out of wedlock to a U.S. citizen mother on or before June 11th, 2017. Now, in this scenario, the child is entitled to citizenship providing that the U.S. citizen mother had been physically present in the U.S. for at least 365 continuous days prior to the birth of the child. And please note that periods spent overseas with the U.S. government or military or as a dependent is not considered for the physical presence request. Now, the third subcategory is if the child was born out of wedlock to a U.S. citizen mother on or before June 12th, 2017. Now, in this case, the child is entitled to citizenship providing that the U.S. citizen mother had been physically present in the U.S. for at least 5 years, where at least 2 of those years were after the child reached the age of 14. And again, please note that periods of time time spent overseas with the U.S. government or military or as a dependent is not considered for the physical presence request. The fourth subcategory is if the child was born out of wedlock to a U.S. citizen father. Now, in this case, the child is entitled to citizenship provided that the U.S. citizen father had been physically present in the U.S. for at least 5 years, where at least 2 of those years were after the child reached the age of 14. In addition, the U.S. citizen father must acknowledge paternity and agree in writing to provide financial support for the child until he or she reaches the age of 18. To obtain official documentation from the U.S. government that a person acquired U.S. citizenship through one of the above methods, the applicant must file the N-600 application for a certificate of citizenship. Another way to obtain citizenship is through derivation. So when a parent naturalizes, his or her children under the age of 18 and living with the parent at the time may derive U.S. citizenship automatically, provided that they are also permanent residents. Moreover, a child who gets U.S. citizenship through derivation does not have to participate in a naturalization ceremony. And generally, foreign-born children under 18 automatically acquire U.S. citizenship if 3 requirements are met. The child must have U.S. lawful permanent resident status, or in other words, be a green card holder, and at least one parent must be a U.S. citizen, and the child must reside in the U.S. In the legal and physical custody of the U.S. citizen parent. It is important to note that citizenship cannot be derived from a step-parent unless the step-parent adopts the child. Citizenship can also be obtained through naturalization. So naturalization refers to the process in which a person not born in the United States voluntarily becomes a U.S. citizen. For foreign-born persons, naturalization is the most common way to become a U.S. citizen. Several requirements must be fulfilled before an individual can apply for citizenship. And generally, applicants must be 18 years old and fall into one of the following 3 basic eligibility categories: 5 years as a permanent resident, 3 years as a permanent resident who has lived in marital union with a U.S. citizen spouse for at least 3 years, or a qualifying service member in the U.S. Armed Forces. So a permanent resident starts the naturalization process by filing N-400, which is the application for naturalization, and what I just mentioned are the 3 most common eligibility categories where most naturalized citizens come through one of the previously mentioned paths. Now, another way is citizenship through the Diversity Lottery Visa. So the Diversity Lottery Visa is also known as the Green Card Lottery. It is a U.S. immigration program that provides approximately 50,000 green cards annually. The visa allows foreign nationals to live and work permanently in the U.S., and it is usually available to people from most countries around the world. The only exceptions are those born in countries where high immigration rates to the U.S. occur, which typically include Canada, China, India, Mexico, and the UK. The U.S. government offers and regulates the Diversity Visa Lottery Program through the Department of State. It can be considered one of the easiest ways to get U.S. citizenship, as once you are selected in the lottery and obtain your green card, you only need to wait 5 years before applying for citizenship. Through this avenue, you would apply via naturalization. You can also apply for citizenship through employment. So there are several ways to get a green card based on employment, and having an employment-based permanent resident status, or green card, for 5 years will make you eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship. About 140,000 employment-based immigrant visas are issued each year, and through this avenue, you would apply via naturalization. Citizenship through investment or entrepreneurship is another avenue for a foreigner to become a U.S. citizen. You can do this through a National Interest Waiver Green Card, which I talked about in another video, or through an EB-5 program. Through either program, you must hold permanent resident status for 5 years before you can apply for citizenship. And again, through this avenue, you would also apply via naturalization. As promised, here's some bonus information that you may not know about. So, U.S. citizenship has many advantages. Becoming a U.S. citizen entitles you to benefits that are not available to green card holders. And these benefits include the right to vote, the ability to travel around the world with a U.S. passport, which is one of the strongest passports in the world, the opportunity to sponsor relatives to obtain a green card or U.S. citizenship. You cannot be deported to your country of nationality or previous citizenship. No loss of status after long trips outside of the U.S. Possibility of obtaining government jobs, scholarships, and other benefits. Children automatically become U.S. citizens. You can serve on a jury. You can obtain citizenship for children born outside of the U.S. and you qualify for certain federal jobs. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe if this content or information helps you in any way. Comment below if you want me to talk about something in specific, and share this resource widely because you never know who needs answers to these questions. Additionally, if you have any specific questions about this video as they pertain to your unique circumstances, please schedule a consultation with us also at the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.